Your mind can create problems that are not even happening. Welcome to Mindway English. Today we are talking about overthinking.
That line feels too real. Sometimes nothing bad is happening in real life, but inside my mind, everything feels serious. One message, one small mistake, one silence from someone, and suddenly my mind starts running.
Yes, that is how overthinking works. It often starts with a small fact. Then the mind adds a big story.
Small fact, big story. That sounds exactly right. For example, if someone does not reply to my message, the fact is simple. They did not reply yet. But my mind says, maybe they are angry. Maybe I said something wrong. Maybe they are ignoring me.
Exactly. The fact is small. The story becomes heavy. And the body reacts to the story as if it is real.
That is the worst part. Even if nothing happened, I feel tension in my body. My chest feels heavy. My mood changes. I cannot focus.
Because the mind and body are connected. When your mind imagines danger again and again, your body starts preparing for danger. Even if the danger is only in imagination.
So my body does not always know the difference between real problem and imagined problem.
Yes. Your body listens to the mind. That is why repeated thoughts can make you tired. People think only physical work makes us tired. But mental pressure can drain energy too.
That explains a lot. Sometimes I do nothing physically, but after 1 hour of thinking, I feel exhausted.
Exactly. Overthinking is like running inside your mind while standing in the same place.
That is a good image. Running, but not moving forward.
Yes. You spend energy, but you do not get progress. That is why overthinking feels so frustrating.
But Catherine, sometimes I feel overthinking is necessary. Because if I do not think deeply, maybe I will make a mistake.
That is a common misunderstanding. Thinking is useful. Planning is useful. Reflection is useful. But overthinking is different.
What is the difference?
Planning asks, what is the next useful step? Overthinking asks, what if everything goes wrong? Reflection asks, what can I learn? Overthinking asks, why did I do that? Why am I like this?
That is clear. Planning gives direction. Overthinking gives fear.
Exactly. Planning usually ends with action. Overthinking usually ends with more doubt.
So if my thinking does not lead to action or clarity, it may be overthinking.
Yes. Ask yourself, is this thought helping me, or is it only repeating fear?
That question is useful. Is this helping me, or repeating fear?
Exactly. If it helps, take action. If it only repeats fear, gently return to the present.
Gently return sounds nice. Because when I try to force myself to stop thinking, I think even more.
That is normal. Fighting thoughts often makes them louder. If I say, do not think about your phone, what will you think about?
My phone.
Exactly. So the goal is not to fight every thought. The goal is to notice the thought without following it.
Notice without following. How do I do that?
You can say, I am having an overthinking moment. Not, I am broken. Not, I am weak. Just, my mind is worrying right now.
That feels kinder. Usually I say, why am I thinking like this? Why can't I be normal?
And that creates another layer of overthinking. You start overthinking about overthinking.
Yes. That happens. First I worry about the problem. Then I worry that I am worrying too much.
Exactly. So the first step is awareness without self-attack. Say, okay, my mind is loud right now.
Not judging. Just noticing.
Yes. When you notice calmly, the thought loses some power. When you attack yourself, the thought becomes stronger.
That makes sense. Because self-attack adds more pressure.
Exactly. Now let us talk about one of the most useful methods, fact versus story.
I like this one already.
Whenever you are overthinking, write 2 lines. Line 1, what are the facts? Line 2, what story is my mind adding?
Can we use the message example again?
Of course. Fact, I sent a message and they have not replied yet. Story, they are angry. They do not care. I did something wrong.
Wow. When we separate it like that, the story looks less real.
Exactly. Overthinking becomes strong when fact and story mix together. When you separate them, your mind becomes clearer.
This can help before exams also. Fact, I have 3 days left. Story, I will fail. My future is finished. Everyone is better than me.
Perfect example. Then ask, what is one useful action?
Study one important topic for 30 minutes.
Exactly. You move from fear to action.
So the full method is, fact, story, action.
Yes. That is your overthinking reset.
Fact, story, action. Simple and strong.
Now let us talk about night overthinking.
Oh, night overthinking is a different level. During the day, I feel okay. At night, suddenly my whole life becomes serious.
Haha, many people feel that. At night, your body is tired, the room is quiet, and there are fewer distractions. So thoughts become louder.
Yes. One small worry becomes huge at night.
That is why you should not trust every late-night thought.
That line is important. Do not trust every late-night thought.
Yes. Sometimes the mind does not need a solution. It needs sleep.
But what if I cannot sleep because the thoughts are running?
Use a worry notebook. Keep a notebook near your bed. Write the worry in one sentence. Then write, I will look at this tomorrow.
So I am not ignoring the problem. I am just not solving it at midnight.
Exactly. This tells your mind, the problem is stored. We can return to it later.
That feels practical. Because my mind keeps repeating the worry as if it is afraid I will forget it.
Yes. Writing helps your mind release the loop.
What about past mistakes? Sometimes I do not worry about the future. I replay the past. I remember something I said. I remember an embarrassing moment. Then I feel bad again.
That is another form of overthinking. Replaying the past. Reflection is useful. Repeating pain is not useful.
What is the difference?
Reflection asks, what can I learn? Repeating pain asks, why am I so stupid?
That is strong. I think I repeat pain more than I reflect.
Many people do. So after a mistake, ask 3 questions. What happened? What can I learn? What can I do differently next time?
That feels healthier. It gives direction.
Yes. Mistakes should become teachers, not prisons.
Mistakes should become teachers, not prisons. That is a good line for a short.
Yes, it is. And remember, you cannot improve yesterday. You can only improve today.
That gives relief. Because sometimes I keep trying to fix the past in my mind.
Exactly. But the past cannot be edited. It can only be understood.
The past cannot be edited. It can only be understood. That is deep.
Yes. And once you understand the lesson, you must return to the present.
That is the hard part. Returning to the present.
Let us make it simple. When your mind runs too much, use your senses. Look around and name 5 things you can see. Notice 4 things you can feel. Listen for 3 sounds. Take 2 slow breaths. Say 1 useful action you can take now.
That is like grounding. It brings the mind back to reality.
Exactly. Overthinking lives in imagination. Your senses bring you back to the present.
I like this. Because sometimes advice like, just stop thinking, does not help. But this gives something to do.
Yes. The mind needs direction. If you only say stop, it may not know where to go. So give it a place to return. Your breath, your body, the facts, the next action.
This is practical. Now I want to ask about another thing. Why do some people overthink more than others?
There can be many reasons. Some people are naturally sensitive. Some learn to be careful because of past experiences. Some fear mistakes. Some want control. Some feel pressure to be perfect.
I think control is a big one. I overthink because I want to know what will happen.
Yes. Overthinking often tries to create certainty. The mind says, if I think about every possible problem, maybe I can avoid pain.
But that creates pain before anything even happens.
Exactly. You suffer in imagination before real life begins.
That line is too true. I suffer in imagination before real life begins.
Yes. And many of the things we worry about never happen exactly as imagined. Sometimes they do not happen. Sometimes they happen differently. Sometimes we handle them better than we expected.
So overthinking is not future vision. It is fear speaking loudly.
Exactly. Overthinking is not proof. It is only a possibility created by fear.
Then I should not believe every thought.
Correct. You can respect a thought without obeying it.
What does that mean?
If your mind says, what if I fail? You can say, thank you for warning me. Now I will prepare. You do not have to say, yes, I will definitely fail.
So the fear can become a reminder, not a decision.
Beautiful. Fear can remind you to prepare. But fear should not control your life.
That is useful. Because sometimes fear makes me freeze.
Then use the smallest action. If you are afraid of failing, study one topic. If you are afraid of a conversation, write what you want to say. If you are afraid of being judged, do one small brave thing.
Small action again.
Yes. Small action is one of the best medicines for overthinking.
Because it moves energy.
Exactly. Thoughts can become circular. Action makes them linear.
What do you mean by linear?
Circular means the same thought repeats again and again. Linear means you move from problem to step 1, step 2, step 3.
That is clear. Overthinking is a circle. Action is a path.
Exactly. And you do not need to see the whole path. You only need the next step.
This also connects to English speaking. Many learners overthink before speaking.
Yes. They think, what if my grammar is wrong? What if my pronunciation is bad? What if people laugh? So they stay silent.
That is me sometimes. I know some words, but I still do not speak because I want the perfect sentence.
But speaking improves by speaking. You cannot think your way into fluent English. You must use it.
That is true. Thinking about speaking is not speaking.
Exactly. So say simple sentences. Speak slowly. Make mistakes. Learn. Repeat.
That feels possible. Instead of waiting for perfect English, I can use simple English today.
Yes. Now let us learn useful English phrases for overthinking.
Before that, I want to ask about one more thing. Sometimes overthinking comes from comparing my life with others. I see someone doing well, and suddenly I start thinking, am I behind? Am I wasting my life? Why am I not like them?
That is very common. Comparison can make the mind very noisy, especially when you compare your real life with someone else's best moment.
That is true. Online, people show achievements, travel, success, confidence, and happy moments. But I compare that with my normal day.
Exactly. You are comparing your full reality with their selected highlight. That is not a fair comparison.
So comparison creates a false story too.
Yes. The fact may be, this person achieved something. The story becomes, I am behind. I am not good enough. My life is not moving.
That happens a lot.
When that happens, bring the focus back to your path. Ask, what is my next honest step? Not, why am I not living their life?
My next honest step. That feels better than comparing.
Yes. Someone else's progress can inspire you, but it should not insult you.
That line is powerful. Someone else's progress can inspire me, but it should not insult me.
Exactly. Now another common overthinking problem is decision paralysis.
Decision paralysis means I cannot choose.
Yes. You think about option 1, option 2, option 3, and after some time you feel more confused.
That happens when I want to choose a course, a project, a topic, or even a simple plan.
In that case, give yourself a decision deadline. For small decisions, maybe 10 minutes. For bigger decisions, maybe 1 or 2 days. But do not keep every decision open forever.
Because open decisions keep taking mental energy.
Exactly. An unfinished decision stays in the background of the mind. So gather enough information, choose the best available option, and move.
Not perfect option. Best available option.
Correct. Many times, clarity comes after movement. If you stand still and think forever, the path may never become clear.
That is useful. Move, learn, adjust.
Exactly. Move, learn, adjust.
Good. I am ready.
Phrase 1, I am overthinking this.
I am overthinking this.
Phrase 2, let me look at the facts.
Let me look at the facts.
Phrase 3, this is a story, not a fact.
This is a story, not a fact.
Phrase 4, what is one small action I can take?
What is one small action I can take?
Phrase 5, I can handle this step by step.
I can handle this step by step.
Phrase 6, I do not need to solve everything tonight.
I do not need to solve everything tonight. That one is very useful.
Yes, especially for night overthinking.
Can we create a full daily method now? Like a simple overthinking reset.
Of course. Here is the method, notice. Breathe, check facts. Take one action.
Notice, breathe, check facts, take one action. Simple.
Step 1, notice. Say, my mind is overthinking.
Not, I am weak. Just, my mind is overthinking.
Correct. Step 2, breathe. Take 2 or 3 slow breaths to calm the body.
Because the body also needs calm.
Yes. Step 3, check facts. Ask, what do I know for sure?
Not what I imagine. Only what I know.
Exactly. Step 4, take one action. Even a small one.
Like send a clear message, open the book, write the plan, or sleep if it is midnight.
Perfect. That is the reset.
I like this because it does not promise magic. It gives a practice.
Yes. Peace is often a practice, not a one-time solution.
That is important. Because some days I may overthink less. Some days more.
Exactly. Do not overthink your progress.
Haha. That is funny but true. I can imagine myself thinking, am I stopping overthinking correctly?
Many people do that. So keep it gentle. The goal is not to empty your mind forever. The goal is to guide your mind back when it runs too far.
Guide the mind. Not fight it.
Exactly. Your mind is not your enemy. It is like a worried friend. It wants to protect you, but sometimes it talks too much.
A worried friend. That feels accurate. My mind says, be careful. What if this happens? What if that happens?
Yes. So you can say, thank you, mind. I understand you are trying to protect me. But right now, I choose the present.
That feels peaceful.
Yes. Now before we end, let us summarize the main lessons.
Lesson 1. Overthinking often starts with a small fact and becomes a big story.
Lesson 2. Planning leads to action. Overthinking often leads to more fear.
Lesson 3. Separate fact and story. Ask, what do I know for sure?
Lesson 4. Do not trust every late-night thought. Sometimes the best solution is rest.
Lesson 5. Mistakes should become teachers, not prisons.
Lesson 6. Small action is better than repeated worry.
Lesson 7. Notice, breathe, check facts, take one action.
Beautiful. And if you are listening right now and your mind feels loud, remember this: you do not need to solve your whole life today. Come back to the facts. Come back to your breath. Come back to one small action.
And say, I can handle this step by step.
Exactly. Thank you for listening to Mindway English. Take care of your mind. Use your English. And we will meet again in the next conversation.
See you in the next episode.